Hey everybody, welcome back to Scotty's Moto Garage. Tonight we're going to continue working on the Aprilia RSV4. Like I told you last time, I was waiting on a couple of packages, so I got my Bonamici engine guards and my Evotech frame sliders. I'm going to install those tonight, and then I'm going to also be putting all the side fairings back on and everything, because I plan on tomorrow at some point I'm going to take it out and do my first test ride with all the modifications that we've done up till now. Can't remember what day we're on now, so like I just worked another weekend, and so now it's Wednesday again of like week 2, so however many days we've been working on this, so that's what we're getting ready to do.
Okay, so here is the Bonamici engine guards. Yay, stickers. So I'll have to open them up to figure out which one's which. I want to say this one is for the other side on the, one's a stator and one's a clutch. So I'll figure that out. Got some stickers for Bonamici Racing. And then here is my kit for my Evotech. So that's the actual slider piece itself there. It's got the red on the inside. Looks pretty cool. Evotech makes some good stuff. I have yet to be unsatisfied with anything that I've used of theirs. Any of these though, Bonamici, I think this is the first Bonamici thing that I've used. I've used CNC Racing, I've used RNG Racing, I've used ASV, all kinds of stuff. So, but this will be the first time I've used something. There was something else I used that was Evotech. Can't remember what it was. These are going to be the mounts for the sliders. Pretty sick, sticking with the black and red theme. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna get these all opened up so you're not sitting here listening to me rattle a bunch of stuff. Then I'll get the tools out that I'm gonna need. So basically, just so you can see what we're kind of talking about, I'm gonna be removing this cover and putting one of the Bonamicis on there. And then I believe the cover or the frame sliders, I wanna say they hook up on here, so I'll be putting those on this side, and then this is going to come off, which is this whole big cover is all going to come off, so because this is the metal behind it, and then so that'll all go away. And then like I said, there's a silver cover in here that I'm going to be replacing with red. I think it's just going to look a lot better. It'll look, this just kind of, I don't like the way the plastic looks. I think it's going to look way better with the metal covers, and then I can actually show the metal of the actual engine case, and then put some more accents on there. Eventually I might end up swapping. I'll probably end up getting more red hardware along the way somewhere. So that's the goal for right now. All right, so we're gonna start on the left side. So we're just gonna take this plastic cover off, and this one goes on this side. Cool thing, I noticed I was looking at the directions, it's got all the torques down there. So first thing, this is gonna be, these ones that are coming off are gonna be 8mm. So yeah, this has got a pad. That's another thing that I'd heard is like if you get any water and stuff, it gets up in this thing and this thing will stay wet. I mean, it actually kind of feels damp, and it's been a long time since I've ridden in any moisture. But I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna actually clean this all up before I start putting the other stuff back on. So that's the original cover. Let's clean this up a little bit before I put any covers on. Wonder if you can take those off. There's no point in those sticking out anymore, because this is gonna go right here. So I gotta figure out, I believe that's how it goes. Yeah, make sure it goes across there. I need to figure, because it doesn't tell you, it doesn't actually like give you any directions. So I'm gonna have to look it up and figure out what we're supposed to do with these pieces that are the adapters. I'm assuming I just take it out and put a bolt back in, but I don't know how long it is. So I need to figure that out. There's another one down here. So we have to remove this stud, and then we'll have to remove these 2 screws on this cover to get to where we can put this on correctly. So I'm going to remove that and then take these 2 bolts out. So this is actually, to get this out is a 6mm. So I'll pop that out real quick. And switch back to our 8mm. That done, and then I need to get my Loctite, get that turned on its side. I still forgot to order more, so put it on its side so it can start draining down. All right, and these are 3 different sizes. There's a M6 by 30, 35, and 40, so it's just like that. And these 2 have a spacer on the back of them, short, medium, and long. So short goes here, medium goes here, long goes here. And then these 2 spacers on them. Before I go putting my Loctite and stuff on, I just kind of want to mock it up there a little bit and see how it looks. Need a whole lot of extra room, that's for sure. But anyway, yeah, so that's how it's gonna go. Push back in, and then these are gonna be, the M6s are 14 Newton meters, 14.7. Grab my torque wrench. So before I do that, I'll go ahead and get my Loctite put on. The only thing about difference between doing this and doing it with the 360 is once I've shot, if I kind of screw up my angle a little bit with the X5, I can just move the lens. Where with this one, if I screw up when I'm shooting it there, you just don't see what I'm doing. Get my Loctite on here. Yeah, it's not touching. I mean, it's definitely close, which, I mean, I guess you want that, but it's not actually touching, so that's good. Man, that looks way better than that big plastic cover. All right, let's go ahead and get these torqued down. That looks 10 times better. So now it's actual metal, and you don't have that, like, you can still see there's like a bunch of this little like foamy stuff that was stuck to the side. I don't know if it was glue or what, but got the Aprilia shows up, and this is the actual metal of the motor, and then you got this protecting it. Goes good. I would have liked I got a red one, but I couldn't find anybody that made a red one. We'll just go with the black. Kind of matches the theme. All right, let's move over to the other side, and we're basically going to do the same thing. I'll figure that out before I put the fairings on, whether I can leave these on or take them off. Okay, so yeah, what I did is I just took one of the bolts from the cover. I took this one out. You can see I already put the other one back in there. Basically, I just ran this out and then replaced it with the other cover bolt, because it's pretty much the same thing. Quick update. I put one of the longer bolts in there. These smaller ones, I tried putting them in there. I just didn't feel like it was getting enough threading. Like, you can kind of see it was just barely, that little tip was in there, and I didn't like that. So this one's pretty much going to be covered up by the fairing, so I just left that one in there, and then I put the other ones on here. If I find something that'll work, I looked through my takeoff stuff, and I didn't find anything that was close. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that one on there. All right, so it's pretty much going to be the same thing on this side. We're going to take off all these cover bolts. Go ahead and get those popped off. That one had one of those studs in the back, but it tried coming out at the same time. We'll have to fix that. Leave those in because those are to the inner cover. We'll just pull stuff off the outer cover. So this big piece should just pop off. Yeah, there we go. See all that foam in there? Like, I can actually feel moisture in there from either when I washed it the last time or riding it in the rain. It sucked the first time I actually ever rode it. When I picked it up, if anybody has watched that video, when I picked it up the day I picked it up, it was raining. So that kind of sucked. Like, the first time I rode it, it got dirty as hell. And then I had to come home and clean it after the first ride because it was disgusting. Yeah, so we'll be removing that as well. See, you gotta put all these studs on this side again. Yeah, so I gotta put this and these two pieces together. So there's an A and a B, and then you have to mount these to these. All right, so I'm gonna do an update. I kind of screwed up when I read the directions. All these that are actually in the cover, including these ones that I installed, are supposed to be 10 Newton meters, 10.3. So I went back and redid the torque so it's proper torque on all those. Because basically I'm gonna be doing the same thing over here. This one came loose, so I'm going to, I only have one longer screw that I took out of the cover. Is this it? Yeah. So this one's the same length as this stud spacer that I took out. So I'm gonna replace this one with this, since it's gonna be visible once I get done right in there. So if I screw up, I'll let you know I screwed up. So this bottom one down here, I took the stud out, and I'm gonna put this screw back in, and then I'll torque it down. And then I still gotta build those things. All right, so that's in. So then I got an A and a B on this. All right, so this goes like this. You have an A side. It actually says on the inside, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little A in there, and then this side has a little B in there. So the B side goes in. This one faces inward. This one faces outward, because they're gonna go right in here. And I think I put that one on upside down. So that would match up on that side. I'd have to turn these around. Yeah, I got this side backwards. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I'll figure this out eventually. Yeah, this side goes this way. I'm gonna have to switch these around on this side so that I can mount them here. And then this will be up like this. All right, let me swap that around. I'll be back in a sec.
All right, we're back. So I swapped this around. It's facing out on both ends. I'm gonna need to take these two off, these two off. I think I can get rid of this little bracket, because that's just was a holder for the bottom side of the plastic, I believe, where the plastic cover went on. I think that was where one of the screws went for that, so we can just leave that off. But basically it's gonna go here and here, because we gotta put these spacers on each one. And then you got 3 different sizes. So for the A side, on this side, they're both M6 by 40. And then on the other side, the top one is M6 by 45, and then an M6 by 50. So this one's a little bit longer. But first thing I gotta do is get these 4 off. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna need that. So that was just a little holder for the bolt. Away from the stuff I'm trying to put on. So those are the 2 smaller, and then the 2 longer ones. So put some Loctite on those. Actually, let's put them through first. So the 50 goes on the bottom on this side. The 45 goes on the top on the B side. And then the 2 40s go on the A side. And then install spacers. So now we'll put our Loctite on here. Tighten these all down to so we'll run these in by hand, and then we'll come back and torque them. Well, that's interesting. So the long one on this side is actually a smaller. I have to get a smaller Allen, which I think it's a. The other ones are 5s. That one must be a 4. That's weird, but whatever. It says they're all M6, but that is definitely, well, I mean, it's the size of it, but the head of this one is a 4. So that's a 4, and the other ones are 5s. So that's interesting. All right. I'm going to get an extension for the torque wrench. So 10.3 Newton meters. So we'll do this in a star pattern. I'll go here, 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 and then I'll switch and do that last one over there. So there we go. Once again, much better looking. Got the Aprilia sign right above it. Nice aluminum. And then now I'm going to pull this out and swap this out. I'll probably have to pull my dipstick.
All right, so we're gonna swap this out. I loosened this up. I didn't want to pull it all the way out. If I don't have to, I don't like having something open. But that's a 10 mil. Just slips out. Make sure this leave the little rubber ring in there. And we're gonna be replacing it with this. All right, yeah, you can see it good. We're gonna be replacing it with this CNC Racing red cover. According to this, it says it's supposed to be 25 millimeters. It started by hand. Much better. Sticks with the flow. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of glad I might have gone with the black there. And it's not just like all red. We're sticking with the silver and red and then black and red and silver, and you know what I mean. So kind of sticks with it. So all right, we got that done. Now I got to get all the stuff out of the box for the Evotex frame sliders, and then I'm gonna read through those, see what all I need, and I'll come back when we get ready to install them.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and keeps you updated on all our latest content.